G'day everyone, it's Jay and welcome back to Derriere Farms where we're on Elm Creek for a reason. Something slightly different. For those of you that are either newish to the game or maybe have been living under a rock, a little while ago, 2 weeks ago or so, Giants celebrated their 1 year anniversary, meaning that Farming Simulator 22 was 1 year old with the release of the Platinum DLC. And I can't remember if it was Chacky or if, anyway, one of the community moderators made a post asking people what map they were still playing. And I was surprised at the number of people. This is base game. This is not including Calmsden Farms or anything else like that. This is base game, pure Giants-based maps. And I was surprised at the number of people that are still playing some of the original maps. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking about the base game maps, and for the most part, apart from Obaileron, which I have been tinkering with on and off, which I completely stopped when the Platinum DLC came out, I haven't really touched ElmCreek at all for a while. And it got to the point where I was quite happy with ElmCreek. And as most of you know, recently as well, since it's a year, the Platinum DLC came out to celebrate a year, I'm having a blast playing Silver Run Forest, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the Let's Play series for it. Anyway, I wanted to run something by you, and I definitely want your comments on an idea I had to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Farming Simulator and the fact that the game was 1 year old. Now, like I said, as much as I'm enjoying or I'm having a blast with Silver Run Forest, I've said several times in my Let's Play, I really do miss the agricultural side. Or, well, I guess forestry is technically agricultural, but I miss the crop growing side of things. And the farming that I grew up doing when I was growing up on the farm. And it got me thinking about an ElmCreek Anniversary Edition. And I'm looking back for your feedback and what you guys would think of something like that. Now, it would have to include all of the DLCs which came out, with the exception of Ontario Carrero. There's no way in God's green earth that I can even think of finding a use for that pack. But anyway, ElmCreek would have to incorporate all of the add-ons that came out over the past year. And then I would have to incorporate all of those DLCs, including the Platinum DLC, into a multi-faceted Let's Play series. Now, that means pumps and hoses, that for manure. The BGA, I will use the editor and get rid of that, and I would have to create my own BGA using pumps and hoses, and that's a couple $1 million project. And the reason I'm thinking ElmCreek is the perfect is A, a lot of people are having fun with it. B, it's definitely got a North American feel to it. And C, it's got a reasonable amount here, all the way up here, and around here. It's got a reasonable area for forestry. So it would be very feasible to turn this map into exactly what I just said, a multifaceted Let's Play map that incorporates all of the DLCs. Now, to make things a little bit more of a challenge, my thought was that I am going to have to get rid of all my animals, with the exception of the dairy cows, because this is dairy air farms after all. But the pigs go, the sheep go, and the beef cows go. Plus, in addition to that, all of the production facilities like the bakery, I would use the F12 tool to return those back to NPC or no longer owned by my farm. They would be originally back to where the original status was. They would have to be repurchased in order to become viable productions again. So production-wise, the only thing I'd really be able to keep would be my bees and my greenhouses. The rest, no. Pallets, odd pallets like this, I don't know how they ended up all by themselves, but they'll be sold off prior to me starting the series. In other words, the map would go through essentially a major reset. A lot of the extra equipment I have, well, it would go. Like these Superliner, this truck and trailer would go. The truck behind it would go. The pallet storage warehouse would go. All the products would be emptied. A lot of the superfluous, like I have 2 or 3 John Deere 410s, 8R 410s. They would have to go, a lot of them. So I would essentially cut everything back to the bare bones. So no animals except bees, no productions except greenhouses. I go back to the minimum amount of equipment that I need. These are sell points, so those are fine. They're not owned by me. It doesn't matter whether they exist or whether they don't. The carpentry, it would get reset back to base game status. Like I said, the beef cows down here, they would go. Manure pits, I would have to empty those out. Done. I do have some product in my silos. Not a lot, because I recently went through a fairly large selling spree and did a major repair on all my equipment. My equipment is... it got repainted. That's where I used a lot of my money, was to repaint the equipment. But I'm also thinking... Let me think. I'm thinking that what I would keep is I would keep the equipment that's in this shed here and the tools that are needed to help work these fields. The silos, like I said, they get emptied. Maybe I get to keep 50,000 liters of each product in there maximum, just enough to get me by. These 2 dump trucks, which are great, but I don't need them right now. So basically, all this equipment, I would cut the amount of equipment I have in hot. And I do use it all, believe it or not, right now. As you can see, most of it has anywhere from 13 to 20 hours on it. So you can't say that it's, it would add a certain level of difficulty not having all this equipment. Of course, the economic difficulty settings get bumps up to medium, so there are no productions, limited amount of crops. I have to get through the first year with, oh, I forgot to mention this, once everything is sold off and returned to its normal state, I will again use power tools or easy development controls to bring my amount of money down to, let's say either $250,000 or $500,000, and that's it. That has to get me through the first, from now February until the crops are ready to plant and harvest at the towards the end of the year. So yes, I would be allowed to plant crops now, but again, it has to be what I can afford. I also have to look, like I said, at all the productions. These are full game. Anything that came with the Platinum DLC. If we're going to do forestry on the map too, yes, I would be able to buy and plant those. Again, the key word being buy and plant them, like I would have to with all the other productions. So it'd be kind of a challenge and a celebration at the same time to get the farm back up to, I don't know. Leave a comment, give me an idea of what would be a good financial goal, and we'll go from there. Plus, like I said, I have to get into forestry, and I have no forestry equipment whatsoever. So I would, at that point, be able to harvest this area, and I also have to plant these areas here. Basically, those are mud fields that have nothing in them, and let them grow. If the tree's not fully grown, I can't harvest it. That would be another rule. So I can't cheat in wood just to fill up the sawmill, for example. So essentially the name of the game, like I said, is not to do a complete start from scratch, because we just started one of those. I did a complete start from scratch on Welka Farms. The whole idea is to get rid of most of the equipment, all of the productions, and return this map back to a purely crop-based map, and then build from there and build into forestry, as well as regular farming. And like I said, I would have to use every piece of DLC in one way or another, with the exception of the Ontario Carrero pack. As far as productions go, any new productions, like I said, I can't go on to Mod Hub, and I can't use any mods that have an unrealistic production rate, i.e., a sawmill that turns 100 trees into 5,000 pieces of planks or something like that. It has to be the ratio that, or very close to the ratio that the game determines. Or I figured out a way to solve that problem. It will cost money. It won't be free like it is on Silver Run Forest. And to give it a little bit more challenge too, I would have transportation issues, as I would make sure I would put the ore point at one end of the map and the iron ore factory all the way at the other end of the map. So let me know what you think. The whole idea is to create something that's something of a challenge, and at the same time to celebrate the fact that the game is a year old and incorporates everything that has been released so far. I don't think in the time that I have been playing Farming Simulator, anyone has ever done, and I could be completely wrong, but I don't think anyone has done a kind of a reboot where they go back to the original map, and as a rule they have to use all of the equipment available. So, like I said, again, let me know what you guys think. Leave me comments, and we will figure out the best way to kick things off, both so that it's a challenge, but I also, like I said, I don't want it to be a bore just to get up and running, like a start from scratch would be. You want to start from scratch? Watch my Silver Run Forest series. Alright, that's all I have to say on the issue. Take care. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Jay.